There are many words that are supposed to go out of fashion, but they are not going. And on the other hand, there are some words which are being so overused that they're becoming redundant. Uh, Great is one of them. There are many more words like awesome, epic, lit, all these words though, which are basically fillers. They don't mean much. In fact, they are doing the job of uh, anti-conversation. When somebody asks you how you are and you say, I'm great, I'm doing great, what it means is that let's not take this conversation to a deeper level. It's like a full stop, right? The same is true for if you were on a vacation and somebody asks you how was that place and you say great, you rarely dig deeper than that. The idea is to not go beyond the basic level of conversations, and that's what filler words like great do. That's their job. Now, when you step back a bit and you try to understand if a word can eventually turn redundant because of our innate desire to not have deeper conversations, what does that word end up as? Because greatness uh, is kind of an achievement for a lot of us. Like we don't admit it, but we want to be great in at least one thing, like genuinely great, and that's where uh, the noun form greatness comes into play. Like how do you quantify greatness? A simpler answer is that what you can't describe is great. What you can generally not describe is great. Like it happens in sports mostly because everything is a spectacle in sports, and that's why it attracts so many conflicted opinions. But think about it, like uh, if I were to describe Sachin Tendulkar's straight drive, I will have to use the word great. I will have to anoint greatness, because how else do I describe it? So it gets very difficult to tell someone that okay, Messi curled the ball this way, or he found a pass which nobody else could even envision, despite the Eagles' view. And this man in the middle of the pitch, he could do that. Or Magnus Carlsen comes up with some bizarre sacrifice, maybe a bishop sacrifice, or Roger Federer, just using his back end right in the middle of a long rally, and you are at loss of words, so you can't describe that, and you end up adding it as greatness. Now, this is ironic because the whole funda of a word turning vacuous is because you don't want to have conversation. Whereas when you use the word greatness, you can't really have a conversation because yourself can't explain stuff. You can't explain how Messi has that vision, or how any other person in any other field, how they came up with that, how Einstein came up with those four papers which literally changed the way physics uh, could ever be observed. And how do you explain that? So it's a very ironic state of hollowing of words, where on one side you don't want to have a conversation, you don't want to say much, and on the other side you can't really say much because you really don't know what to say. You can only notice and be marveled by what's happening. You have no idea what's happening, so you say, wow, that's great, that is pure greatness. How did you do that? How did she come up with that, or whatever? Like, you really don't know the answer. So I find these two kind of battle of hollowness very, very interesting.